Live from the WCTV studios, this is the Good Morning Show. Coverage you can count on.
Straight ahead this morning, Brooks County residents freaking out now after a body is found. The case now being turned over to the GBI. We've got the latest. Plus, more on the situation with Syria as U.S. officials say they will not back down and continue to put pressure on the country. And yikes, we're getting closer to the start of a new hurricane season. Our meteorologist Charles Luke breaking down what we can expect. Clear skies for us today, though, it looks like. A beautiful Saturday morning. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us. And definitely a different change over the last couple of days. We've seen some really nice, pretty days.
After the week we've had with the severe weather threat and the mugginess, it's nice to finally see some good change in our forecast, especially this weekend. You're really going to love it. Right now, a lot of areas pretty cool this morning to speak of. 41 right now here in Tallahassee, 41, excuse me, nearby in Monticello as well, 41 in Valdosta, even 43 at Thomasville. A little bit warmer along the coastline. You start to see 50 at Apalachicola and 45 over in St. Mark's this morning. Even some 30s spotted on the map this morning. Temperature changes between this time yesterday, 24 hours ago, looking a little bit cooler actually. 9 degrees cooler in Blakely, 7 degrees cooler in Bainbridge, even 9 degrees cooler in Thomasville, 7 in Tallahassee this morning. So dew points, it is still pretty dry out there, although I'm seeing some 40s on the map right now, like 41 in Bainbridge and in St. Mark's. So a little bit more moisture is slowly starting to come back. We'll start to see that change even more so over the next few days. But for now, things are looking pretty nice outside our area this morning. In fact, it'll continue to stay nice. We'll see those temperatures warm up, getting close to 60 degrees by 10 o'clock, even getting to the 70s by later this afternoon. I'll have your complete forecast, though. See what you can expect a little bit later in the show.
You're looking at video of an early morning fire happening on FAMU Way and Railroad in Tallahassee. Tallahassee Fire Department officials responding to the fire around 5 a.m. No word yet on the cause of that fire, but witnesses say it's near several local businesses. Fire crews working quickly to put the blaze out. We will continue to keep you updated on this story, both on air and online at WCTV.tv.
Oh, God, what done happened? Yes. You know, because we've never had that to happen out here. That's all. They come by and they wave, and we wave back. But as far as knowing them personal, we didn't know them personal.
Residents in shock after a man's body is found at a Brooks County home on Friday morning. That body found outside of Quitman on the 1700 block of Dewberry Road. The sheriff's office, along with the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, on scene. They say an autopsy will be performed at the GBI Crime Lab in Macon. This incident shaking up the small community. At this time, there is no cause of death. The man has also not yet been identified. We will bring you the very latest as it becomes available. Cook County officials also investigating a death. Residents complaining of a bad smell coming from a Bryant Street home in Sparks. Authorities responding Thursday and finding a decomposing body inside the home. The GBI says no one was living there. They have not yet identified the body. Hundreds of students and staff now tested for tuberculosis in Miller County. A student at Miller County High diagnosed with TB. Health officials saying they confirmed the active case last week. They're now having high-risk students and teachers get tested, about 250 so far. The county superintendent telling families to keep their cool.
This is not a near and ever present immediately problem for somebody. It is treatable. So if they'll take the time to read, maintain their composure, confide in their kids and tell them exactly what's going on, I think they will get through this fine.
Less than 5% of all tests so far coming back positive, and that doesn't mean those are active TBI cases. Those students are now getting additional testing to determine if they have the infection. Valdosta police are investigating 2 shootings, believing both are gang-related. The first, a drive-by shooting happening Thursday on Eli Place. You can see bullet holes inside, or through the home rather. Thankfully, no one was hurt. VPD has not named any suspects. Meanwhile, the second shooting happening just half a mile away on Shanna Circle. Police say suspects broke into a home. Shots were fired but did not hit anyone. Investigators don't believe these incidents are related. The state fire marshal is looking for the public's help with an investigation. Authorities are trying to track down pictures or videos of the fire at the historic Stevens School in Quincy, specifically images taken before first responders were on the scene. If you have any of those pictures or any other information on March 26th fire in Quincy, the state fire marshal wants to hear from you. A massive brush fire in South Florida continues to rage on, now scorching more than 5,200 acres. Officials say windy conditions and low humidity are helping to fan the flames. The fire is now about 45% contained. Authorities say nearly 24 structures could be at risk. Autopsies expected today for 4 South Carolina inmates found dead yesterday morning. They've been identified as Jimmy Ham, Jason Kelly, John King, and William Scruggs. The prisoners were at Columbia's Kirkland Correctional Institution. Their cause of death is not clear, but the county coroner said the inmates' deaths do not appear to be natural. A murder investigation in Houston, Texas, neighbors calling it a murder-suicide. 4 people found dead at a home and a 5th person clinging to life. Authorities say a woman killed 3 people, including her own sister, before turning the gun on herself. No word yet on the motive. A rough week at the world's busiest airport, Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport, seeking a number of flight cancellations. The severe weather passed through the state earlier in the week, some passengers actually having to sleep at the airport while waiting to get to their destination.
I support the president's decision to launch missiles into Syria.
Much support for the president's decision to launch a missile airstrike against Syria. The United States saying they will continue to apply pressure on the country. Kenneth Craig has more on that mission.
59 cruise missiles fired from 2 U.S. warships turned Russian-made Syrian jets into piles of scrap metal. They were targeted at the airfield where U.S. officials say dictator Bashar al-Assad launched a chemical weapon attack on his own people. A satellite photo shows the missiles also destroyed ammo dumps, storage sites, and radar stations. Commodore Tate Westbrook, who led the Navy task force in the mission, said he was alerted for the assignment on Tuesday, the same day a Syrian jet was tracked taking off from the airfield and dropping a bomb loaded with nerve gas, killing at least 80 civilians. The Navy destroyers, USS Porter and Ross, were about 1,500 miles away.
I turned both ships around, and both ships maintained maximum speed to get in position all the way across the Mediterranean.
President Trump authorized the strike at 4:30 p.m. Thursday. The missiles launched at 7:36. This photo shows President Trump and cabinet officials being briefed after the strikes.
The United Nations Security Council held an emergency meeting here Friday to discuss diplomatic options about the crisis in Syria.
Ambassador Nikki Haley defended the use of force.
We are prepared to do more, but we hope that will not be necessary.
But Russia is outraged.
We describe that attack as a flagrant violation of international law.
Secretary of State Rex Tillerson said Russia's response shows it still supports Assad. Tillerson travels to Moscow next week for an official visit. Syria will be high on the agenda. Kenneth Craig, CBS News, New York.
No country has taken military action against Bashar al-Assad's war crimes in the 6 years of Syria's civil war until Thursday night. A daring save in Atlanta, Georgia. A visually impaired man fell off the MARTA platform Thursday, ending up down on the tracks. 2 Good Samaritans jumping down to save the man.
But there was a split second where I looked around and said, there's no police here, is this me? Do I need to be the one that jumps in? And yeah, I looked, I don't remember looking for a train, but I did look at the rail and just hopped right in.
The man only suffering a broken ankle, but thankfully not much else. Now imagine being at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino and ding, 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 you win. But you're being denied your money. That's reality for this man, Jan Flato. According to him, he and a female friend were there playing slot machines when he won the $100,000 jackpot. But the eye in the sky saw the woman hit the button for the winning move. That push of the button leading to a broken friendship.
I said, Marina, what are you doing? And she gets up and walks out.
That same night, he started sending me nasty text messages, threatening me.
The woman says she tried to offer Flato some of her winnings, but those text messages made her take her offer back. Hurricane season less than 2 months away. Colorado State forecasting 11 named storms, 4 of them hurricanes, 2 of them major ones. Thankfully, the projections are below normal, but local emergency management asks residents not to focus on those numbers.
There is going to be a risk to this hurricane season. We don't know if it will be Florida or where in the Atlantic or the Gulf of Mexico, so we've got to be prepared. We've got to be ready because it could happen again.
The Leon County Emergency Management Director suggests having a plan and having enough supplies to last you at least 3 days. So we are getting prepared for hurricane season, but thankfully nothing really in the forecast for the next few days, right?
Yeah, things are looking pretty good. No hurricanes in the forecast.
No hurricanes.
But something to think about, later as we get towards the season. Being prepared is a good thing. But for now, things are looking pretty nice out there. Pretty cool to start off with, though. Seeing those temperatures, mixed bag of 40s and even a few 30s down on the map, like 39 in Quincy this morning. A little bit warmer, though, at Apalachicola at 50 degrees. But how warm will it get today? And how long will this nice weather last? I'll have a look at your forecast right after the break.